Can you please describe your experience at the forum?
It's been exciting, we didn't really know what to expect. It's a new forum, obviously. So the panels have been interesting. I think the early panels were more high level, and so it was more of a kind of setting the stage. But the detail and some of the more recent forums, getting into the detail of the passenger experience and how the aviation community needs to change the way it's looking. What will be interesting to hear as the forum continues is how from the ground up we develop the industry, because it's one thing to build new airlines and build new airports, but you need the underlying infrastructure and the manpower and the trained talent to pull that off in the long run. And of course that's why we're here. We're looking at how that happens. And I haven't heard a lot about that in the current discussion. So hopefully throughout the event we'll start to talk more about some of the key issues that surround developing the infrastructure and developing the talent necessary to really make that happen.
Which of the shared announcements was the most exciting?
Well, I think, because this is a new event and it was fairly put on very quickly, a lot of the announcements that have happened have been announcements that we've heard about already. The new airline coming to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the new airport infrastructure that is being built here in Riyadh. I mean, these are all very, I can think the most exciting ones, because they speak to the potential of what the 2030 vision is trying to bring. Taking the passenger count, higher and higher, and all those concepts I think are what are incredible about what's happening with the 2030 vision. And of course, we're excited about that because it's focused centrically on private enterprise, and so that's kind of our key focus. And the creation of jobs for the industry is critical, and as a training organization, it's always good to see that there will be jobs. Of course, for us, we're creating jobs within our own organization by having partnerships for our students to become instructors and then work abroad. So that all kind of ties everything together, and that will empower those young men and women to then be a part of what's happening here in the industry. In 3 years' time, when the airlines are really spooling up and they're getting the need for pilots and the need for ground handling and airport management personnel, these types of things. So we see the potential for that to give our young men and women jobs and create that opportunity here in the Kingdom.
So you talked about the culture of aviation. Do you think forums such as these can help develop that within that sense of the culture with our students?
Sure. Well, I think being more inclusive in these types of events, I think, is a critical piece to make that happen. And I think the people who are putting GAC's putting this on, I think they will see that there's room for growing the audience, and by growing the audience, you get more involvement. Having more activities like this, we recently had a military show here in Riyadh recently for aviation as well. The more activities like this we have in the Kingdom, and the more awareness we can bring to the aviation industry, the more exciting, the more people will be excited about it and engaging. I think this is a critical piece to growing the aviation environment here in the Kingdom and in the Middle East in general. Having more shows, more activities, more opportunities for people to see and touch and feel parts of the industry, the aircraft, have these opportunities. This is key to driving that interest. Everyone looks skyward, when you go outside and you see an airplane, everyone looks up. We all do it as a young child, or at least certainly I did. So I think having the opportunity to bring people into that environment, to invite them to be a part of what's happening, is a critical piece to being successful in raising the awareness and raising that excitement. I think it's important if we want the industry to go back into a situation where it's thriving, to get people interested and get people excited about it.